Hey, it's me, Raika. Today we're going to have a look at Safiya, daughter of the desert from the Mauler faction. Now, this hero wears cloth-based gear, is part of the mage class, and her primary role is to nuke the enemies with her ultimate ability. So let's have a look at her skills. Her ultimate skill, Falling Sun. Safiya focuses her energy and deals AoE damage to all enemies within the target area. The longer she focuses, the higher the damage she deals. Pressing Safiya's portrait again can interrupt the focusing stage and release the skill in advance. The level 2, the damage is increased to 600%, and the level 3, maximum orb damage is increased to 660%. Now, this is a charge mechanic and will take a significant amount of time. Now, during this time, she can be easily interrupted. So I would recommend your allies distract the enemies long enough so she can cast her ultimate and one-shot all the enemies with a single ultimate skill. Her next ability, Scattered Bolt. Safiya fires a magic projectile at an enemy target which deals 170% damage and stuns them for a short time. After impacting the first enemy, the projectile splits into two smaller and weaker projectiles that target other enemies. The level 2 damage is increased to 190%. Level 3, the split is increased to 3 orbs on impact. And level 4, damage is increased to 210%. Her next ability, Static Field. Safiya provides the most forward positioned ally with an electric aura that lasts for 10 seconds. The electric aura causes 70% damage per second to the enemy standing within its radius. The level 2, 3, and 30 engravings increase this damage all the way to 100%. So this is two little orbs that will be circling around one particular allied hero and will be consistently dealing damage to the enemies in the enemy half. So let's look at the next ability, Spectral Disruption. Now this is one of the other reasons why she is used. At the beginning of the battle, Safiya casts a circle enchantment over the backline allies. Now this is a little pyramid that forms on the three most backline allies that lasts for 25 seconds. All allies standing within the circle have their attack rating increased by 16%, and any enemies standing within the circle have their attack rating reduced by 50%, and their haste is reduced as well. The level 2 attack rating for your allies is increased to 20, level 3 to 24%, and the 60 engravings 25 seconds after the pyramid enchantment has been manifested. All enemies within it will be dealt 200% damage and stunned for 1.5 seconds. So let's have a look at a signature item over here. When you unlock Arcane Power, 1% of Safiya's total damage output is converted into attack rating. The attack rating can be increased up to 140%. The level 10 and 20 increase this effectiveness to 3% of Safiya's total damage output is converted into her attack rating. So this allows her to nuke enemies even harder with her ultimate and her other abilities. The level 30 unlock. Safiya will use Scattered Bolt instead of normal attacks once the attack rating has reached its maximum percentage. So the sooner she's able to use her ultimate, the sooner she'll be able to reach that threshold, and then she'll only be using her Scattered Bolt ability. Now this is this ability right over here, which stuns enemies and hits multiple targets with a single strike. And her furniture over here, Harmonized Power. When you unlock the 3 out of 3, duration of spectral disruption is increased by 15 seconds. So this is the pyramid that forms around your allied half. Her 9 out of 9. The focusing stage of the ultimate skill, Falling Sun, is sped up by 40%, while spectral disruption is still on the battlefield. So as we can see, these two synergize extremely well with one another as the pyramid buffs your allies and also it is able to speed up the ultimate, allowing you to nuke the enemies faster. So let's have a look at how she does in battle. So we're going to start off the wooden training dummy right over here. So as soon as we start, she'll form the pyramid over here. Now, any enemy that enters this pyramid will have their attack rating reduced, but your allies' attack rating will be increased. So as we can see, this is the little buff on your front line most allied hero, which will deal continuous AoE damage to any any enemy hero that gets too close to your allies right over here. So as we can see, this is the spectral bolt. So she'll cast it for a couple of seconds. As we can see, the spectral bolt, it'll hit the enemy and multiple targets will be hit at the same time. But the only enemy that will be stunned is the initial enemy and not the scattered projectiles. So let's have a look at her ultimate ability. So she'll charge it up right over here. This will take a couple of seconds and will nuke the entire enemy half. So let's have a look at how she does at a much higher level deficit. Now this over here is a 50 level deficit, so it's not too high. However, she does extremely well, especially when enemies are grouped up. If the enemies are grouped up, she can deal even more damage, as the closer the enemies are together, the more damage she can deal. Now from this particular playthrough, she did the most amount of damage. So let's have a look. So when we start battle, she'll cast a permanent right over here. Now I've got two allied heroes, both Titus and Anarchy, which will distract the enemies long enough so that Safiya can gain energy. And as we can see, there is a scattered bolt that she's using. This will hit the first allied hero or first enemy hero and split into multiple projectiles. There we go. Now she's casting her ultimate. Now, once she has done so, she has gained the full benefit of that maximum damage output, and she'll continually cast Scattered Bolt into the enemies, which will deal immense amount of damage and stun them as well. Now, what is the minimum investment that I would recommend into this particular allied hero? So what is the minimum investment that I would recommend into this allied hero? Now, the only reason why you would board her is for this ability over here, reducing the enemy's attack rating by 50% and their haste rating as well, if the enemy is standing within the pyramid. However, I do not recommend getting her signature item or her furniture. The reason for this is this ally struggles, especially at much higher level deficits, such as 100 and above, and sometimes gets one-shotted before even she's had a chance to use her ultimate ability. Now she needs a lot of support, either through energy recovery or allowing her to ult much faster in order to gain that extra buff from her signature item and getting that massive amount of damage from her ultimate ability, Falling Sun. Now, I do not recommend getting a signature item, her furniture, or any of her engravings, both the 30 and the 60 engravings as well.